Queensland Opposition Leader David Crisafulli became visibly emotional during a pledge to make jack laws permanent if he wins the state election. Well, joining me live is crime expert Dr Terry Goldsworthy. Terry, great to see you and good morning. So we've heard that David Crisafulli promised to take jack laws further. Also, Stephen Miles is saying that it was Labor's law. Regardless of whose law is it, what's your opinion on potentially taking this law further? We've seen it being implemented in New South Wales and the Northern Territory. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, look, I mean, Jack's law seems to be relatively effective. The data that we saw from the police when they announced the expansion recently in August this year showed that out of 5,000 wandings, they found 500 weapons. So it's about a 10% hit rate. So their weapons are off the road. The weapons that young people, primarily young people they've found on, can't use when they get into some kind of altercation and end up with deadly consequences. I wasn't aware that the laws were going to be repealed or anything like that. I guess the opposition leader might be referring to some review process we have for legislation up here, and he's just ensuring it's going to be permanent. I'd be very surprised if any of the two parties repeal these laws at any stage. I think they're quite useful and the public are quite supportive of them. But in terms of expansion, yes, other states are picking up the model and where you can wand people without any justification in certain areas. There are conditions around how that wanding is conducted, and we recently expanded it to shopping centres, retail centres and sporting precincts. So, I guess the question will be, will it eventually become something that's just statewide and not limited to certain areas would be the question, I think. If you're talking about expansion, how would we do that? Then I think there may be some questions asked as to expanding it everywhere if we know that the problems we're aiming to fix with it are contained in certain areas. So that would be the problematic issue around expanding Jack's law to be encompassing of everywhere, every public space.
All right. And what about the Qatar Australia Party's castle law? What do you make of that?
Yeah, look, it's interesting. I haven't seen what the bill was that they proposed. I've seen some general commentary around it, and it seems to be that they're going to, they want to make it legal for you to use deadly force on someone. You can already do that in Queensland. Self-defence allows you to use reasonable force in regards to the threat that you face, and if you have a reasonable belief and that force is proportionate. And there is a High Court case on that where someone did kill an intruder into their house. So I guess what they're trying to do is just make it a blanket approval to use that type of force, which I think could be problematic. I mean, if someone comes into your house and they're unarmed and then you kill them, well, was that necessary to do? I mean, I understand the concept that Qatar's coming forward with, and certainly got 40,000 signatures on a petition to Parliament. But I think we need to be careful there. I guess, if you're waking up in the middle of the night and there's someone standing over your bed, you don't have the luxury of time of looking and going, oh, have they got a knife, or is that a pencil in their hand? What is that they're holding? So, I mean, there are arguments on both sides. I mean, we like to think that we're safe in our homes at night, our families are there. And some of the issues raised were it could escalate violence, that people coming into the house knowing that they could be killed or, attacked more viciously, perhaps by the homeowner, would react that way anyway and go in there with a thought process, well, there's nothing to lose for me, so I'm just going to hit the homeowner as soon as I get in there. So it could be problematic in that respect.
All right, we've got about 30 seconds to go before we head to Pete Stefanovic in Queensland. But as you well know, crime it's I think equals second as the main issue for voters as they head to the polls on Saturday. And in terms of repeat offenders, what is your take on that? Because we've heard some interesting statistics on repeat offenders.
Yeah, look, repeat offenders have been problematic for the government in terms of youth crime. They've been very slow to react to them. And I suspect that come Saturday, we'll probably be looking at a change of government in Queensland based on the crime issue as well as cost of living.
All right, Terry Goldsworthy, always great to see you. Thank you so much. Let's go live now.